are so much more than your sexuality, right? You've got brains, you've got money, you've got businesses, you've got brilliance, and all the rest of that, right? So why is that? Why is it that when a man steps out on y'all with other women, you get mad and ask yourselves, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not enough for him? Why did he seek something else from a woman that he could have gotten from me? I will tell you why. Because deep down, you basic bitches masquerading as boss bitches know that you are good for nothing but sex. That's why. So Kevin released parts 3 and 4 of his sit-down interview with wannabe entrepreneur, glorified video vixen, who's just a few donuts away from being morbidly obese, Jessica Wong. And while I'm on the topic, let's go ahead and get one thing straight here. Jessica's hot. There's no doubt about it. Okay, she's a bad bitch. Most guys would gladly pound her brains out. At least they would right now. But Jessica's ass better stay her ass in the gym. She better stay her ass in the gym, because at nearly 30 years old, she is going to find out very, very quickly that keeping that figure is going to be next to impossible without the help of Dr. Miami. You guys know who I'm talking about, who I'm sure will be getting a phone call from the lovely and talented Ms. Wong in a few short years. You see, girls this thick, and I'm not going to bring up her Instagram. You guys can go check it out. It's Jess Lee Wong. Girls who are this thick are destined for obesity, gentlemen. They're destined for it. She looks good now. I will give her that. But if she ever decides to have children, she will blow up like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'm not saying this to hate on her. I'm not saying this to marginalize her aesthetic beauty. She is clearly very attractive, and she is the embodiment of thick. If ever there is the perfect thick black woman, Jessica Wong is it. She is very aesthetically pleasing, but the minute she pisses a plus sign, all, and I mean all, of her head-turning assets are going to go south, literally and figuratively. And someone who appears to spend more time hoeing around in music videos and doing bikini shoots than in the gym does not stand a chance against the deadly combination of both Father Time and Mother Nature when it comes to geriatric pregnancy, which at this point we can assume will likely be the case, as Miss Wong made it very clear to us that she is not interested in marriage or children right now. Her body type, gentlemen, is strictly for short-term things, because as soon as a nigga puts a baby in that bitch, it's a wrap. The black community loves women who look like this, and for good reason. Jessica is fucking beautiful, but Jessica is way too thick. It's great now, but her body type is not sustainable. Even if she decides not to have children, her body is not going to look like this at 35 years old. Hell, it's not even going to look like this. It might not even look like this in 18 months. So all you simps out here who beat off to her pictures, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts. Commit her images on IG to your spank bank, or screenshot her IG, because her days of looking like this are numbered. You don't see too many thick women like Jessica Wong in their 40s. Most of these bitches are straight up obese because they found out the hard way that their fat falling in all the right places is more of a curse than a blessing. Especially when you hit the wall, which, by the way, Miss Wong is very close to now. Anyway, a point of contention she has with Kevin's talking points, as we'll see here very shortly, is the notion that women cheat, men have sex. In other words, men don't cheat. We exercise options. She says this statement triggers her, which is really the millennials' way of saying it pisses them off. You see, triggered sounds much less harsh. It sounds much less harsh. It sounds much less accountable. If something pisses you off, that is generally thought of as a you problem, right? If something triggers you, that something is the culprit and not your delusional fucking mind. Anyway, Jessica having an adverse reaction to the men exercising option statement is not unlike most modern women these days. And I've had an epiphany about this. You see, attractive modern women will be the first to tell you that they're so much more than just sex objects. They're always bitching about their education or about how their education and business ventures should be taken into consideration when men of value are evaluating them for a potential relationship of consequence. Now, men understand that nothing could be further from the truth. We get that, right? We know that when we are looking at a woman's potential, the first thing we consider is the way they look. Does she pass the boner test? Do I want to fuck her? If the answers to both of those questions are yes, then we proceed accordingly. Now, this doesn't mean that these other elements don't factor in, because they certainly do. But men of worth ain't trying to commit to broke bitches any more than we're trying to commit to boss bitches. Oh, we'll fuck these hoes all day long. We may even call ourselves dating her, which is just a way that the true players keep these ignorant bitches, these ignorant bitches in our rotations for just a little while longer, because we know that telling a girl that you're dating will cause her to stick around just a little bit longer. Because in her mind, dating is a much better title than, well, he just fucks me. But we ain't trying to commit to broke bitches or boss bitches, period. But if a woman is fit, feminine, submissive, cooperative, friendly, non-combative, obedient, and coachable, we will forgive any financial deficiencies she may have, so long as she doesn't have any kids and our ROI has a positive outlook as far as she's concerned. Myron Gaines says it best when he says that a millionaire will commit to a girl who works at Burger King if she's hot enough. He's 455% correct. There are other elements involved, yes, but by and large, if a hot girl is not a bitch and doesn't see you as an ATM, we will give her an honest try. However, when women of all socioeconomic statuses get into relationships with men with options, they bristle at the thought of their men stepping out on them with other women, which takes us right back to modern women bitching about being objectified. Number one, women objectify themselves. You bitches objectify yourselves. Real talk. We know it and you know it. We know it and you know it. Listen, take a look at any InstaSluts models page, like Jessica Wong's, and it's fairly clear that no one is holding a gun to her head or forcing her to show off her assets, leaving little to the imagination for all the world to see. Number two, the minute a woman takes birth control, she makes herself an object. You see, gentlemen, the physical purpose of sex is reproduction. Yes, we want to fuck because we like sex. But biologically speaking, sex is where the advancement of the species begins and ends. Guys, no sex, no babies. No babies, we go extinct. So when you take birth control to avoid getting pregnant, you instantly make yourself a sex object. Men can fuck you and skeet in you without getting you pregnant. Sex dolls are sex objects because you can have sex with them and not get the doll pregnant. Fleshlights are sex objects for the same reason. So when a woman takes birth control, she literally turns herself into a sex object. By removing any and all possibility of becoming pregnant, women turn themselves into sex objects. Objects to be fucked, skeeted in, and forgotten about until the next session. Now, I know there are some women that will get wind of this and will call themselves triggered. And my response to that is that you have no one to blame but yourselves for this. You know, you wanted guilt-free sex? You got it. You wanted the freedom to express yourselves sexually? You got that too. So don't be mad at us for treating you like you want to be treated, like a sex object. You did this to yourselves, ladies. In the same vein, sleeping with women outside of their committed relationships, women who feel some type of way about this are further objectifying themselves. And I want you guys to stay with me here. I really need you to pay attention. I really need you to pay attention here, because I can guarantee you that this is not something any of you have ever considered or heard before. That I can promise you. Listen up. Any woman, and I mean any woman, who gets her panties in a bunch when they hear the women cheat and men have sex trope, are perpetuating their own objectification. Here's how. If you ladies are supposed to be so strong and independent and boss bitches who are brainiacs and bring so much more to the table than just the 3 holes that men use to scratch the occasional itch they have, then why are you tripping when he goes and gets that from another woman? You're so much more than your sexuality, right? You've got brains, you've got money, you've got businesses, you've got brilliance and all the rest of that, right? So why is that? Why is it that when a man steps out on y'all with other women, you get mad and ask yourselves, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not enough for him? Why did he seek something else from a woman that he could have gotten from me? I will tell you why. Because deep down, you basic bitches masquerading as boss bitches know that you are good for nothing but sex. That's why. If you offered men so much more than your bodies, then you wouldn't get upset when he gets what you say is a non-factor, which is sex, from another woman. You're so much more than that side hoe, right? You offer your man more than she ever will, right? Wrong. And you bitches know it. You know that despite what you claim to bring to the table isn't worth the carbon dioxide that came out of your mouth when you speak these ridiculous delusional falsehoods into existence. You know you are good for nothing but your 3 holes, and that's why you go absolutely mental when he goes and gets it from another bitch. Because if you knew you actually brought these benefits to the table, you wouldn't worry about another woman taking him away from you. You would know that your other attributes, characteristics, habits, and traits will keep him around. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't feel hurt by him stepping out on you or feel inadequate to some degree sexually. Listen, that's just not possible. You're human. But Devin knows that whoever I decide to smash on the side, Devin knows that bitch can't code. She knows that if I did have a side chick, that chick doesn't know the first thing about SEO. She knows that most bitches out here can suck a good dick, but she also knows that most bitches out here have no idea where to start when it comes to building websites. She knows these basic hoes out here would get a headache at the very thought of building and maintaining a mobile app on a daily basis. So while Devin might get a slight pang in her stomach when Caitlin flirts with me in front of her, at the end of the day, Devin knows the only thing Caitlin offers me that she can't is a younger vagina. And Devin knows that what she brings to the table far outweighs the headache, the nonsense, and the drama that younger vaginas bring here in 2022. Devin knows that she actually brings value to my life. She knows that I need a woman for a hell of a lot more than just sex. Any woman worth her salt outside of her sexual allure would have that same confidence. Again, this isn't to say that they like it when their men step out. Not saying that at all. But they also know that if they have a man's true devotion, loyalty, and respect, that he would never let her find out about it. And women like this are good with that. So any woman that has a problem with her man stepping out on her, even though he keeps it completely under wraps, doesn't bring home any STDs, doesn't knock anyone up, doesn't throw it in her face, and isn't messy about it, is a woman who knows deep down that she doesn't have anything of substance to offer her man outside of sex. Otherwise, she wouldn't be worried about it. Instead, she would fall back on the things that keep him around that have nothing to do with what happens between the sheets. So men, take notes and keep an eye out for these women, because these bitches will be the first to tell you that they offer so much more than their bodies, but then in the same breath, shame you about why you are immoral for wanting sex from other women. These women are quite literally telling you that they are good for nothing but sex, including, as you will see, Jessica Wong. And that is the memo.